Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a video about tires. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you guys about different tires you should buy. And basically, my topic, I'm going to cover the difference between a winter tire, an all-season tire, and a summer tire. Alright, so keep watching and we'll get more detail. Okay, so what are tires when we're talking about, like, does it matter to have a winter tire, aka snow tires and summer tires? You know, what is the best tire for me? When do I need to put these tires on? So on and so forth. All right, it's good questions. I get these questions all the time. The main thing to do is first, know your climate you're in. If you're in, like where I'm at right now, I'm in California, we never see snow unless I'm in the Tahoe area. All right, if I'm somewhere in Midwest where we're gonna get the occasional light snowfall, you have to consider a tire for that. If you're somewhere in like Florida where you're never ever gonna see snow, you think you're a tire choice from there. Okay, so what are the options? The options, okay, you have winter tires, you have summer tires. All right, who would be a good candidate for summer tires? Well, a summer tire is designed for optimum handling, optimal acceleration, optimum braking. Okay, these tires are designed for a spirited driver, someone who likes to put their car into, you know, curves. They're less likely to squeal, howl once the car is into these corners, but it's going to give the car a better handling characteristic. Also, when it comes to acceleration, it's going to be more grip. It's not going to spin as easy because the compound for summer means is when the temperatures are high, it's going to give you a better grip on the surface. Means it's designed, engineered for warm temperatures. Okay, the rubber gets its best grip at warm temperature. When you go into high performance car, it's like the best. Like for example, the M3, I want to run a summer tire because I want to take advantage of the car's handling. This car is designed for handling. I want to make sure that I run the right equipment for it. And it goes the same thing. If I'm going to run a 100 meter or 400 meter run, I'm not going to put on just regular some Chuck Taylors or something. I want to make sure I got some right shoes on. So I'm going to put on, you know, some running shoes, some Brooks, you know, Nike running, anything like that that's going to be flexible, best grip, you know, and it's going to allow me lightweight, right? So allow me the speed to be able to run. And that's what your tires are for, right? It's what your car is running on, the surface. All right, so we covered summer tires. You kind of know what they are. Let's discuss winter tires. Okay, this scenario I'm in now. I'm not running anymore. Now I'm gonna go up to Lake Tahoe. I want to, you know, run, maybe hike a little bit up some snowy mountains. Well, these running shoes that were fast on the track, like, you know, the 100 meter run, these shoes aren't going to grip. The tread on the bottom of the shoe is going to be slick. It's not going to give me anything. I need something with some biting edges. Something that also too, when the temperatures are colder, the rubber can give me more grip. So I'm gonna wear a winter boot, a snow boot. Okay, you see what I'm saying? You see I'm going here? Now, you want to equip your car with the same thing. Now on this X5, I'm running the Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire. Now this tire is designed for the X5M to give it the best handling for an SUV. Same for the C63. Mercedes has got the Michelin Pilot Super Sport as well. My M3 has a Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. All these are summer performing tires. Now, even though this SUV It is all-wheel drive, meaning, or it's going to be really good. And when you hear all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, you think automatically in the snow, you're going to do really well. Doesn't matter. All-wheel drive cannot help. These systems, electronics, traction control, those systems need the grip to work. If you cannot provide the available grip to these systems, then they cannot help you, right? These electronics can't defy laws of physics. They cannot add extra grip to your vehicle magically. However, they can help regulate the wheel spin, they can help regulate the traction, and help take advantage of the available traction you have. Okay? These tires have a slick surface. They're not going to have any biting edges when we go into the winter, the snow. It's just going to be just like a ball tire, essentially, because there's nothing to bite. These tires are designed to get more rubber on the road when you're going straight, when you're going in through dry weather, rain. It's got channels through the tire to channel the water out of it. Okay, I'm sorry, these channels are what channels the water. So summer tire is only good for, dry and wet. That's it. I wouldn't do anything else. When you go to a winter tire, you're gonna see a lot of blocks. You're gonna see a lot of biting edges. You're gonna see little lines in it, some sipes. All right, now that we talked about it, I can actually show you. Now, like I said, I don't need winter tires. However, I do plan to visit Lake Tahoe during the winter months. And there you have to, there's no way I could go take these tires to the snow. Even how good X-Drive is for BMW, I know that X-Drive, their all-wheel system is amazing. It will not help me at all. I'm actually going to suffer. As a matter of fact, I have once took a all-wheel drive car. This was a totally different car, but I drove it in the wintertime, drove through snow, it was all-wheel drive. I figured, I got all-wheel drive, I'll be perfectly fine. There's no need for these special tires. I would do just fine. Now, I was in Ohio. We received 20 inches of snow that day. That's right, 20 inches of snow, and I suffered bad. I didn't realize that I had to plan ahead when I need to stop. Seriously, I know that you plan for snow when you're stopping. There's a few things you need to do differently, but I literally could get stuck just going up a small hill to the point where all four wheels are just spinning and I'm not going anywhere. And someone ran around me, and just a Infiniti G35 coupe. This is before they did the all-wheel drive models. And they were able to drive right around me, and I sat there and spun all four wheels. That's right. It doesn't help, guys. I'm telling you, get the right tires. I bought these tires on Tire Rack. Had a Movo installer come out and did it for me. It was perfect. They took my old rims, these from the X5. These are the 611 style rims that came on the X5, and I just upgraded to the 612s with them in black. And we went with the Yokohama Blue Earth Winter V905. Now, they didn't come in the factory width, so I had to go slightly narrower for the tire. I believe since it's a 20-inch tire, I went with the 275 front, 275/40 in the front, and then a 315/35 in the rear. So I haven't tested it out so far, but I would be much better off than taking this tire in the snow, and here's why. Feel how, I can't take it a feel, but you can see how I'm moving this tread block. See how I'm shifting it and I'm able to move. The rubber compound is much softer and is made to be perfectly grip, during the lower temperatures. Even with dry surface, lower temperatures, you're gonna have much better grip than this tire. Also, number two, these tires have these little jagged edges in here. These what they call sipes. This helps bite into the snow and ice. These give this tire a biting edge. Okay. Also, look at the tread blocks. Look how blocky the tire is, which also helps the tire perform. It has gives it more biting edges. That's the difference between this tire and this tire. You see what I'm saying? Now, I don't want to run this tire all year round because, like I said, it's softer. I could actually
basically wear this tire out much quicker in the warmer months because it's, by it being so soft, anything above like 70 degrees, this tire is just going to dissolve. If I could, put that in an easy way to explain it. All right, so I hope you have a better understanding of a summer tire and why it is designed a certain way. That's why it's all smooth, and it's why it has these just little ridges in here to channel the water, but that's it. Most of the time it's just, the more rubber on here, the better the grip. In the theory, for engineering standpoint. Obviously there's other factors that go into play here. But when we feel this rubber, it feels harder, but it's made to get better grip when it gets soft, okay, when temperatures are high. All right.
Water. So summer tire is only good for, dry and wet. That's it. I wouldn't do anything else. When you go to a winter tire, you're gonna see, even though you take the tire tread pattern, there's more to it. It's the rubber compound itself. All right. Once these tires get anything below 40 degrees, these summer tires, even on dry pavement, they become near useless. Okay. So if you're having a summer tire and a high power rear wheel drive car, say for example with a C63 AMG, and all this torque, and I decide to, take it out and just punch accelerator, I'm going to get a lot of wheel spin and or traction control intervention, okay? Because that rubber compound, which is designed for summer use, has now became like a block of plastic because that rubber has just got hard and brittle, okay? Makes sense? So it cannot provide that grip. It's not soft enough to provide the grip. But a winter tire, even though you're on dry pavement, can provide that amount of grip. It can provide a decent amount of grip to get you going. And it's designed just for those purposes. I would not, if I lived somewhere where it was get cold and it was regularly like 20 to 30 degrees all the time, I would just run a winter tire, even when there's no snow expected, because it's gonna be a lot better than a summer tire, okay?
So this is winter tire, this is summer tire. Now there are other tires out there. There are all-terrain tires, there's mud tires, there's drag radials. Those tires are all for different things. And like I said, right now this video just covering just summer. Now what if you say, you know what? I don't think I need anything extreme. I don't need anything extreme like that. I just want a tire that can perform. I don't care if summer performance. I don't want the maximum grip. I don't think I need the all winter tire to run, switch them out. And, was there something that can fit in between that I don't have to switch out tires? And there's a tire called all season. An all season tire, I like to call them no season because they don't really excel in one category. All right, they're not going to be a really good handling tire. It's not going to, it can be, but it's mainly, these tires you're going to find if you were to buy a Honda Accord, Toyota Camry. They're going to put an all-season tire on the vehicle, and this tire's main purpose is to give the car a softer ride. It's something that can be used rain, light snow, things like that, which would be okay. And for some people, that would be suit their purpose. They're not like the best tire. Now they do have options for people who want to run a little bit more. Say like, I wish that there was something a little bit high performing, but I don't want to go to a full on summer tire. What they do have different levels. They have a high performance all season, and they have an ultra high performance all season. So you do have options for an all season tire. All season tires, they're made to use year round. And there's someone who may see an occasional snowfall, say for like, for example, Ohio, every year we wouldn't get snow, like a deep snow, like a lot of snow. We might see, one year might see like the most 6 inches, 3 inches of snow. An all season tire would be perfect for that. You will be more than fine with an all season tire. The difference is an all season tire, once it starts to wear out, so you get that first year use, and once it's half its life, it's not going to be as grippy as it was before. So you got to take that into account also. It only performs as good when it's brand new, but an all-season tire is going to have tread blocks as well.
These tires have a little bit of blocks, but they're designed to give, optimum fuel mileage. They're designed to give you a softer ride. Typically, when you test drive these cars, like example, if you go to the Honda dealership and you test drive an Accord, it's going to be a smooth ride. And these tires were engineered just for that car. And so when you test drive it, you feel like, wow, this car's smooth and quiet. Now, would it give you the best grip? Probably not. Would it give you the best braking ability? No, it's not. But at that point, it's just made to get you sold on that car. Okay. But if I have a front wheel drive car, I might see occasional, like a all-season tire can handle about 3 inches of snow. That would say my max. 1 to 3 inches of snow for those tires, and they'll be fine on a front wheel drive vehicle, with the exception of front wheel drive SUVs, and I'm gonna cover that a little bit later. And you have the those tires, they can handle a little bit, but once the going gets tough, once you're going to anything more than 6 inches of snow, you're gonna start to notice their car's gonna slip more. It's not going to stop as easy. It's going to slip and it's going to slide, and that's why you need to get something more dedicated. Like I said, if you're somewhere where the roads are typically taken care of and it's plowed, you should be fine. If you're somewhere where, like I said, you're in Minnesota, where the roads where you get tons of snow and the snowplow crews cannot keep up with them, they're not going to make it. You need a winter tire for sure to make it sure. And if you think of other countries that get all this snowfall, Canada, in Europe, most countries in Europe, it's mandatory. It's a law to actually put a winter tire on your vehicle during winter months, because they're not taking any chances. That's how good these tires are. Now, when you turn to front wheel drive SUVs, if you say something like what are front wheel drive SUVs? I think a 2-wheel drive Explorer, Ford Explorer, I think is front wheel drive. A Equinox or something like that. Those, if you don't get the all-wheel drive, they're front wheel drive based. Even the Hyundai ones, the Santa Fe, things like that. Now on a car, you have the advantage. All right. Now I'm kind of going off topic a little bit. I apologize, but I just want to cover this. Front wheel drive cars have the advantage because you ever seen people with pickup trucks, right? Or you've heard people can pick up trucks in the snow, and what they do is they'll put all like sandbags into the back of it. And they load up really heavy because they want weight in the back. The more weight you have pushing on the back of the tires, it gives you a little more grip. All right. So those sandbags aren't for just decoration. They help put some weight on the tires when, they're in deep snow and they're on 2-wheel drive. Front wheel drive has the advantage because when you're going through the snow, the weight of the engine is resting right on top of the front wheels. So like things like Honda Accord, Honda Civics, things like those little cars, those little Hyundai Elantras, they can manage with just 2-wheel drive. They can manage with just front wheel drive because that extra weight is pressing down on the tires. So even if they have all seasons or winter tire, they're going to dominate. They're going to be up there, right? And if they put a winter tire on those vehicles, they can be almost equivalent to what you'll find in all-wheel drive as far as traction and braking. Your limitation is going to be is ground clearance, right? Because even though you can go through the grip, if your car is real low to the ground and you're going through something that's a couple feet high, well, then now you're pushing through snow and you're plowing through snow, which I think having the ground clearance of a sport utility vehicle or a truck is going to be more advantageous. All right, guys, so let's talk about with the SUVs, a front wheel drive isn't going to be have the same advantages with the car, because SUVs weigh more, right? These lightweight cars, as opposed to a heavy SUV, is different. So if I were to take something heavy and I say, okay, now this SUV is, 4,000 pounds and I want it to pull through the snow, but I'm only saying these 2 tires in the front, even though they might have better grip, is going to be heavy, especially going through a hill. You're saying these 2 tires got to pull this heavy vehicle up the hill, right? And that's where I'm saying that it's not quite as advantageous to an SUV as it is on a lightweight car. All right, so my X5 community, the follower, my subscribers here, they follow me for X5 content. You're probably going to ask me the question, should you run a squared setup or a staggered setup? And if you think about it, you want to run a narrow tire in the winter because a fat, wide tire, it just means more area, more surface that that tire has to go through, right? You want to make sure you get something nice and skinny to slice through the snow. Real thin. The less surface you have, the less that it has to plow through the snow. Now, unfortunately, these X5s, are designed with wide tires. Even most rims on here are wide. So even though I have 285 up front and then a 325 in the rear, I went down to a 275 up front, and I should have went down to, I think what they do for the M's is 285 front and rear all the way through. Now I did go to a 315 rear because my rim was already wider and I used to have staggered rims. If you don't know what that is, I did do a video on that. But squared versus staggered is going to be a wider tire in the back. You cannot rotate them because the rims are wider, tires are wider.
The reason I did this because I already have these rims. These rims are wider in the rear. I cannot put the same size tire on a wider rear wheel, otherwise they will stretch the tires out, it won't fit. I'm hoping I should still be okay. The theory is you run the same size tires all the way around because what can happen is the front tire could go through the snow fine, makes a little path. Then the rear tires now are wider, have to cut through their own path because they're sticking out a little bit. That's what they're saying. I'm gonna know for sure this year. I'll see if I make it up to Tahoe during the snow. Right now we haven't had much to snow to really for me to go up there and experiment with. But if it happens, I know I'll see how it performs. If I feel like I'm slipping a lot, then I may look into a different option as far as getting a narrower squared setup. All right, so let's move to the all-season tire. I'll tell you guys a little bit about those. Guys, this is an all-season tire. If you see here, is made up of different designs all the way through. You have different blocks here, different cups here, and this is almost, I want to say high performance, but all these different designs, the way this tire is engineered is to try to compromise everything. It's got these blocks designed for cornering, this center section here for different biting edges in the snow, and then you have more different areas designed for cornering and acceleration, braking, things like that. All right, now this tire can go through light snow. I wouldn't take anything deeper than like more than 6 inches. I would say you need a dedicated winter tire. This is a tire that people can run on their car if they don't require a lot of like I said, a lot of deep snow, or you just don't the cornering is not your best characteristic you're looking for in your car, right? If you just say you want longevity, because summer tires typically have a life at most, I would say 30,000 miles. These tires here can go a good 50, 60,000 miles before they need replacing. If you live in the Bay Area or anywhere in California, you want to go to Tahoe, and you see something where they say all-wheel drive with snow tires, okay. And you were wondering, do I have snow tires? Technically, you could make it in Tahoe with an all-season tire, but the way your tires correctly fitted for snow, you have to look at the sidewall, okay? And you look at the sidewall, and if it says anything that says M plus S, anything that's written down there, that means mud and snow. All right, so I'm gonna look at this tire here, and I'm gonna see if I have anything. I doubt, oh, it does. So here, if you look here, 225, 40, 18. You have speed rating, and then it's a Y rated tire, and then you have right here, M plus S. That M plus S means mud and snow. Even though it's an all-season tire, they're saying this tire is rated for snow. So if you ever have any question, you say, you know what, I don't know if I have snow tires or ripe tires, or if my all-season tires can run through the snow, Yes, if you have N plus S, technically you could. And technically, when you run through the checkpoints in Tahoe, when you go to Interstate 80 and they do those checkpoints for 50, when they look at your tire, they're gonna look for that rating. If that tire has S on it and you have all-wheel drive, you should be okay to proceed. If you don't have that tire and you have all-wheel drive, you're possibly going to be forced to put chains on. Those guys, I don't know how they know, but they know an all-wheel drive car from a non-all-wheel drive car. They know tires the right, proper fitted, and also, regardless what you have, you guys with the X5, with the S line, you're gonna need chains because rear-wheel drive, you're gonna have to require chains, or actually, you know what? I think yeah, you have to put chains on. If you are anywhere else, you know, that doesn't require chains for rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, you could actually be okay with the winter tire setup only with no chains, which is, I think with the S drive would be okay with winter tires. You know, that's what the police guys use sometimes, you know, those Chargers. If they don't have the all-wheel drive, they'll put some winter tires on, and most of those guys would be fine, you know, driving in the snow. And just to cover tires too, this is what I was covering. This is a Michelin Pilot Super Sport. This is a star rated tire for the BMW. So anything BMW, if it has a star on it, and the star would be usually right there, that tire is engineered for BMW. Okay. Mercedes uses their own branding. So if you look at the Mercedes is going to put a different insignia on theirs too. So look here, the MO. MO is Mercedes, and then the one just means the first generation of this tire designed. As they evolve and do any more, they'll give it like a number 2 or number 3. All right. And as this is again a Michelin Pilot Super Sport. Then here I have the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. This is tire is actually the I would say successor to the Pilot Super Sport. I'm not sure which one I like better. I like the ride. This one gives it a softer ride, but these tires on this size is only available in this particular vehicle.
If you're going to like a beach, sandy beach, which tire do you think is going to be better for a sandy beach? Something with a lot of tread blocks and biting edges, or something maybe slicker? So if I take the summer tire, for example, would you see the slick edges, as opposed to a all-terrain tire from a truck? Who thinks, now you'll be surprised on the answer, who do you think is going to make it through the sand better? It's going to be the summer tires. And why is that? Because the edges are smooth. And on the sand, you want something to ride on top of the sand. You want something to kind of go through the sand. There's those trucks, and they have those all-terrain tires. You see these guys, these beefy trucks, and you're like, why did these guys get stuck? And these little cars are driving past them. Because those blocks actually hurt it, because now it's biting into the sand so much, it's digging a hole, and it's just taking more sand from underneath it, and as opposed to something that can just ride on top of it. So that's the disadvantages in the sand. All right, guys, I hope that this video is helpful. If it is, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me in the channel. I am trying to grow. I'm trying to do a little bit more educational videos too. So if you guys, if it helps anybody, I appreciate it. But again, thanks for watching, and subscribe.
Ready, set, go. Get to the sidewalk.